Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the mess. Now, listen, before we get into the mess, I want to tell a quick story. I will put the timestamp in the description box, so if you don't want to hear the story, you can just go ahead and fast forward to the hot topics, okay? So, let's go ahead and get into the mess. So, I have these shoes. I'm going to show you the shoes in a few minutes. I always wanted these shoes. I just couldn't afford them. I mean, I guess I could have probably saved my money over some months and then purchased the shoes. But even when I thought about it, I was like, I just don't see myself spending that much money for a pair of shoes. And the shoes are some mules. I'm going to show you again the shoes in a few minutes. A mule is basically something you can just slide your foot in. I wear these shoes all the time. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I wear these shoes all the time. Girl, you will see me out in Houston. Baby, I'm more than likely going to have these shoes on. More than likely. Girl, these are like my run around, slide my foot in, and go out the door and come back home shoes. I wear these shoes to the airport. 10 times out of 10, if you see me in the airport, you'll see me with these shoes on. Now, because I have TSA pre-check and clear, ooh, girl. If y'all don't have TSA, girl, let me tell y'all something. Girl, if y'all don't have TSA pre-check and clear, girl, you are missing out. I didn't have clear or TSA pre-check at one point, and then I got clear. And I was like, girl, I don't really need TSA pre-check. Yes, you do. You do. When I tell you, girl, anytime, especially in Houston, the airport, I never have issues at the airport in Houston. Girl, ever since I've added TSA pre-check with my clear, when I tell you, girl, I probably get through TSA, I'm not exaggerating, I'll probably get through TSA in just a few minutes. And I'm not exaggerating. Again, this is at the airport in Houston. I don't really have issues at the airport in Houston. Now, I wouldn't try to pull that stunt at no Atlanta. Girl, did y'all see Atlanta the other day in the news? Babe, one of them lines was, girl, that happened to me like a few years ago. Not a few years ago, probably like 6-7 years ago. I went to Atlanta in January for Pride. And I was stuck in, I thought I was gonna miss my flight. Girl, we were in TSA, I know, for at least 2 hours. TSA, the line. Okay, so anyways, if you ain't got TSA pre-check, girl, you missing out. When I tell you, it is the best thing in the world. When I tell you, girl, the way I be acting, like, girl, the way I act like I'm better than everybody. Girl, the way I act like I'm better than everybody because I got TSA pre-check clear. Do you get me, girl? Girl, my nose be in the air. I be looking at the other people like, ooh, girl. Girl, I walk up right on through, girl. You ain't gotta take your shoes off. You ain't gotta take your jacket. Well, if you got a big heavy jacket, you have to. But if you got like a little something on, you ain't gotta take your jacket off. Lightweight, girl. When I walk straight through, you ain't gotta take your laptop out, your soap, girl, your lube, girl. You ain't gotta take none of that out, girl. Your toothpaste, you can leave everything in your bag, girl. Just push your stuff on through. You walk on through and you're done. I am usually out of that TSA pre-check in a few minutes. Again, this is here in Houston. It wasn't a bad experience when I went to Atlanta one time. It really wasn't that bad. I thought it was because for the most part, I hate Atlanta airport. It'd be too much going on. That's how I actually I was gonna miss my flight in Las Vegas one time when we went to, me, my sister, my brother-in-law, we went to Las Vegas. And I had to check in a bag. And I was gonna, if it wasn't for my TSA pre-check clear, I would have missed my flight. Anyway, so back to the story. So I got these shoes. And one night, I used to work overnight at Nordstrom. I worked in the logistics department. And basically what I did, I worked on a web team. Long story short, it's just like you just walk around and find stuff. So if you ordered like a pair of shoes, and I would go find the shoes. That's it. So we had a competition one night. I didn't know anything about the competition. I would just go, literally, when I said I would go to work, speak to people, hey, how y'all doing? And go about my business, right? If somebody had a question, I would answer the question, you know. But for the most part, I would just go to work, put my AirPods in, and I would just YouTube it out for, my shift. So my manager calls me into the office one night, and they were like, hey, I need you to come upstairs. Girl, what do they want, girl? Girls all walking, I already got an attitude. Yes. What's wrong with you? Nothing. All right. Well, I was just wanting to tell you congratulations. Congratulations on what? Girl, gotta have to. Well, you won the game, the competition. What competition? Girl, you pulled the most. Girl, oh, I did. Girl, what did I win? Girl, it was either a $300 gift card or a $250. I can't remember the price. I've told this story before, but I cannot remember the price. I knew it was. I don't think it was anywhere over $300 though. So I won a $300 gift card. I basically pulled the most out of everybody. Okay, girl, as much as I used to talk mess and say I'm going to work and not work, girl, I really used to work sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Some days I will go to work and not do nothing. Some days I'll be like, I'm not doing nothing, girl, because I pulled 150 items last night. The only girls only pulled 30. I'm not doing all that work. Girl, everybody else is showing up to work and ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. Girl, and I meant it. Now, girl, just like a nigga, who go to work and tell the people they not working? Because I put 107 items last night. And girl, the other girls is pulling 30 and 40. We all working the same shift, and I came in an hour late. How I come in an hour late and I still was number one on the board? Okay? So anyway, so I won a gift card. And so I finally was able to get these shoes. Now, I have always wanted these shoes, but again, I just couldn't afford them. These Balenciaga mules. When I tell you I wear these shoes out, ever since I got these shoes, these are like my go-to shoes. Like, I wear them, especially to the airport. Even now, with me having TSA pre-check clear, I don't have to really take my shoes off, but I still wear these shoes to the airport. They're just comfortable. You know, I can put a sock on with them and just push on through, right? Because, you know, my feet be cold on the airplane. But anyways, so I was like, oh, girl, I get to get my shoes. So I used the gift card, and then also one of my friends, I can say her, she don't work there no more. Some of y'all know Brittany. Some of y'all don't. But Brittany, she was a manager also in logistics, but she was under the logistics umbrella, but it was another department under logistics that she was like an assistant manager. So anyways, so she used to get 33% discount. So girl, I used her 33% discount, and I used a gift card that I got. And then of course she had like a Nordstrom note, and the rest I had to just pay. I had to pay her, you know, to get the shoes. So anyways, baby, when I tell you, I was so excited because I always wanted these shoes. But again, girl, I'm not paying those. I think these shoes are $650. $650, $650, girl. I ain't got no $650, girl. And girl, even if I did, girl, for $650, I need a thigh high, girl. I need the material to be hitting the middle of my thigh for $650. Baby, I remember one day I was telling my sister, I have two biological sisters. One of my sisters, she lives here in Houston, Tatum, Bailey, and Sloan's mother. One day I was like, bitch, I was like, girl, why I be sliding in my shoes? She was like, how are you sliding in your shoes? I was like, bitch, I don't know. I was like, girl, I just be sliding. It feel like I'm doing a cha-cha slide. Like, these shoes ain't got no sole. I was like, I think I've been wearing them out. And she was like, that is ridiculous. Like, girl, those shoes are too expensive for the sole to be worn out like that. She was like, but you do wear those shoes a lot. I do wear these shoes a lot, but still, I should still have some type of grip underneath, you know, for the sole. Again, I never even just paid attention to the sole. I think I probably looked under this sole like once or twice. Baby, so I go out, I'm walking out of my apartment yesterday, and I feel something underneath my shoe. I'm like, what is, like, it felt like a rock or something. And I'm like, girl, my floor is not, I literally had just walked out of my apartment. I'm like, girl, my floor is not dirty, and I didn't see anything in the hallway. So I'm walking, I'm like scrubbing my foot across the ground to like get whatever it is underneath my shoe from underneath my shoe. And I was like, girl, something is going on. Bitch, when I tell you, I look at these soles. When I tell you, I looked at the bottom of my shoe. The first foot I looked at was the right shoe. Girl, look at this. Girl, look at this sole. Girl, look at this. Look. Girl, it look like I've been running in dirt and cement and scaling walls. Girl, look at this. Girl, look at the other one. Girl, Girl, I literally have holes at the bottom of my foot. I can feel my finger pressing against right here through the shoe. Like, I can't feel it right here. Right here, girl. Girl, you can literally lift. Look at this. I'm lifting up the sole. Girl, look at this. Girl, Balenciaga, bitch, count your days. Let me tell you something. I know I have worn these shoes. Girl, I have got my money's worth. But girl, I paid $700 for these shoes. I really did. Girl, y'all know I ain't paid no $700 for no motherfucking shoes. Girl, y'all know I ain't paid no $700 for no motherfucking shoes. But girl, they don't know that. But girl, listen. Girl, I spent $700 for these shoes. And this is what y'all give me? Girl, these shoes, girl, these shoes are $700. And this is what y'all give me? Girl, this is defect. Girl, these are refurbished as far as I'm concerned. Girl, I purchased a refurbished shoe. Because there's no way that these soles should look like this. All I'm doing is walking. Girl, all I'm doing is walking. Why do the soles of my shoes look like this, Balenciaga? Balenciaga, why do my shoes look like this? I worked too hard for my money. And I wanted these shoes forever. And I couldn't even afford them. And I still gave y'all $700. I really did. I got them like two something. But still, that's not the point. The point is these shoes are $700 with tax. And this is what y'all put together in Italy, made in Italy. Balenciaga, made in Italy, 44. That's the size. Girl, look at this. Girl, look at these soles. Girl, look at these soles. Girl, it look like I've been running from lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Girl, it look like I've been running from dogs in this apartment complex. Girl, every day. Girl, look at these soles. Girl, this is ridiculous. And girl, I'm even embarrassed to even, girl, I don't really look at the bottom of my shoes like that. So girl, I think I probably looked at these shoes like once or twice at the bottom. I don't know, I just don't look at the bottom of my soles. So when I saw this yesterday, when I tell you I almost passed out, girl, I said, girl, what have you been doing in these shoes? Girl, I had to sit down and think about it. Girl, what you been doing? Girl, what have you been doing in these shoes, girl? Something. What have you been doing? Girl, walking. That's it. Girl. So, girl, I'm going to have to go to the shoe hospital. Hopefully they can restore these shoes. Because, I'm not giving these shoes up. Girl, these shoes cost too much money. Girl, I spent too much money on these shoes. Do you hear me? Girl, I got to get these fixed. Girl, this is ridiculous, girl. I'm so ashamed. The sole not lifting on the side, though. It's just, the sole is a mess. I'm gonna have to go get these fixed. This is ridiculous, girl. See? Girl, that's ridiculous, girl. They still falling apart. They're still falling apart. Girl, look at that. This is ridiculous, girl. Look at this. Girl, like some scab. Girl, I'm so disappointed in Balenciaga. Yeah, it's y'all fault. Because like I said, girl, what y'all think I've been doing? Girl, you think I've been training for the Olympics in these motherfuckers? Girl, I'm not training for the Olympics, girl. What, girl? Who y'all think I am? Usain Bolt? Y'all think I've been outside practicing, girl, running around the track filling these shoes? Girl, that's what I look like. Girl, let's move on with hot topics. Yeah, this is a mess. So, Nene Leakes. This is according to TMZ. Nene Leakes is telling Real Housewives of Atlanta superfan Cynthia Erivo not to despair because she could make a return to the show if the offer was right. We caught up with the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum in New York City earlier this week, and we had to ask about the Wicked star, revealing she's a huge fan of Nene and asking Bravo to bring her back to the show. Nene says she loves Cynthia and thanks her for her praise before adding she totally agrees. So sounds like Leakes thinks Atlanta needs a dose of herself baked back on the show. Leakes says a ton of big stars watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, so Cynthia isn't unique in her love for the program, but Nene says it's still a pleasure to hear from CE. By the way, Nene's in NYC to talk about the new podcast she's hosting with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star Ciara Glam Shop called Me and My Homegirl. The show dropping January the 16th will feature the two giving their takes on everything going on in the world with no filters holding them back. The show may even have guests, though Nene says it won't be the podcast focus. We also caught up with Ciara, who gives her secret for getting a guy to put a ring on it. Watch the clip through the end to hear Ciara's SG's words of wisdom. Girl, we don't care about Ciara. Girl, we're going to play Cynthia and Nene, and I don't care about what Ciara had to say. They're looking for a podcast guest eventually. We get a feeling Cynthia would happily volunteer. So this is first what Cynthia Erivo had to say about Nene. She loves Nene, she loves Atlanta, and also Potomac. So take a listen.
Do you have a favorite reality show?
The Real Housewives of Atlanta and or Potomac. It's fantastic. They're very honest, which I like. There's no fighting, there's no fisticuffs, but they all read each other.
I said she must have watched season 5. Okay. She must have just tuned in probably last year.
Atlanta gets a little rowdy. It's a big glam situation. And I appreciate it. I am a Nene Leakes fan. I love her. Where is she? Bring her back.
I know. Why do they get...
I don't necessarily get sad when the season ends because I feel like there are other things that will take its place. Because I'm like, well, it's going to come back. What's the next thing? What's going to happen?
Do you have a
This is what Nene had to say. And then y'all know, we have to tug on Nene's wig just a little bit. This is what Nene Leakes had to say.
Erivo, yes, was like, I am not watching Housewives. Bravo, bring back Nene.
I love her.
What kind of moment was that for you? Was it like,
so many people were sending it to me, inboxing me that what Cynthia had said. Cynthia, I love you. Thank you so much, and I totally agree.
Did you kind of feel like, wow, she watches Housewives? Like, are you ever surprised about how many people actually watch Housewives, or are you just like,
honestly, so many people watch Real Housewives. Now, so many stars, big stars, watch Real Housewives. They really do. It was a pleasure to see that Cynthia loved the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that she, in particularly, loved Nene Leakes.
So, of course, we gotta ask you, like, so you would return to?
I don't know. If the opportunity was right and the check was on point, why not?
So, Cynthia Erivo.
Can I say something? I think that you can work a job, and I think a lot of people work jobs where they're not 100% satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Just because you think there are things that can change, that should change, does not mean that you don't want to continue employment with your current employer. You see what I'm saying? You can have grievances and think that if these things get better, the company will be better. I still want to work here, but y'all have some things you need to work on. Nene had her grievances with NBC, Universal, Bravo, Andy Cohen, and the other folk. I just think it's weird that Nene said all the things that she said, and she still wants to go back. I think it's one thing for you to feel like you're not supported. I think it's another thing where you even feel like someone who you're dealing with at your job could be the big R word. I think it's one thing to kind of like call out someone in management, a supervisor, but girl, when you kind of like start suing the whole company, girl, and you start picking, putting certain names in a lawsuit, but you're also still willing to go back to that same environment. Like, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, ain't nothing changed. So if Nene was to go back to Atlanta, she would still be dealing with the same people, the same exact things that she was complaining about. I do think it's a little weird. I do. Being that Nene had a lot to say about the work environment at Bravo. I think it's one thing for you to be like, it's a hostile work environment. I think it's one thing for you to say, oh, girl, some things need to change. This happened. I just want things to change. Other than that, girl, we can make some stuff work. But I think that once you start to kind of start going down the road of, girl, calling certain people cokeheads and, racist and lawsuits starting to happen, but then you'll be like, yeah, I still want to go. I just think it's a tad bit different. I do. Because now if they were to say, and the door clearly is open because Nene had some gig a few weeks ago. I think it was the Emmys. She hosted some after party gig. But clearly the door is open. I would love to see Nene back on Atlanta. I really would. I love Nene. She gets on my nerves sometimes, but I still love Nene. I think Nene will forever be, one of the reality star icons. I do. But I do think it's a little strange that after all this was said and done, that Nene still is saying, yeah, girl, I know I called y'all what I called y'all, but girl, can I come back to work? It was a lot of pomp and circumstance around what Nene claimed. This just wasn't someone going to human resources or trying to get some things fixed at their job. Like, this was a major, big, public lawsuit. This wasn't just in-house. These grievances were just not, yelled amongst, the work environment. Girl, it got out. Like, this was a big thing that Nene was suing NBC Universal. And now she's still willing to go back and work for the same exact people. I do think that's a little problematic. I do. Again, I get that things, when I worked at Nordstrom, things happened at Nordstrom. There were things that were unacceptable. There were things that just were a complete disaster. But I would also say Nordstrom also was, in my opinion, a decent place to work. It really was. Does that mean that they didn't have, that they had things that they could work on? Yeah, you definitely have some things you can work on. And I'm probably sure those problems are still there. I think that's the difference between, girl, me saying that, and then, girl, me just saying, I'm a sue Nordstrom and I'm a sue everybody. But yeah, I want to come back to work for y'all. And the same people still in position. You know what? I can see if the people were not, if the people at NBC Universal were probably still not there. But I'll just say Andy, he's still there. Andy ain't went nowhere. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. But y'all think Nene can come back to the show? I feel like since the door is kind of cracked a little bit, I think they should bring, I think that I will say this much. I do believe that when they pull the plug, because we're going to get to a point where, girl, they're going to pull the plug on Housewives. I think they should do like one last hurrah. Like Nene, Sheree. I don't know about that white lady. Y'all know I do not see it for her. But maybe they did one last hooray with all the girls. I don't even want to say her name, but you have to kind of, in a way, include her. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Kim. But I think before they pull the plug on the show, it would be cute if they had Kenya, Nene, Cynthia, Kim, Sheree, Marlo, like all the girls come back in some capacity. I think that would be fly. Now I don't know if they, I know money. Girl, I don't know if they can afford to do some shit like that, because that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. But girl, somebody like Kim, girl, the way she over there, girl, shaking a can. Girl, Kim, she'll take what she can get. Girl, just give her a couple of dollars to get her through a couple of months. She'll be good to go. Okay. Anyways, it is what it is. Okay, so listen to this. Freaky grandma? This is according to the neighborhood talk. Diddy's mother allegedly threw sexually charged parties at his childhood home. So neighbors, it looks like Diddy's mom may be the one who inspired his freaky parties. Diddy's childhood home was a site of wild, sexually charged parties hosted by his mother Janice, according to a new Peacock documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. Tim Dog Patterson, a longtime friend, alleges that guests at these parties, including DRUG addicts, pimps, and individuals from Harlem streets. He claims it wasn't unusual to walk into a room where adults were engaged in sexual acts. Patterson suggests that these early experiences may have influenced Combs' later controversies, as Diddy now faces federal charges for, y'all already know what he faces, girl. Diddy has denied the allegations, with his legal team asserting he has never SA'd or S-trafficked anyone. Diddy revealed in the past that he lost his virginity at the age of 12 and says he learned a lot by watching PORN. The documentary explores Combs' upbringing in Mount Vernon, New York, where his mother sought to provide for him after his father's unaliving in 1972. Patterson calls the home being filled with alcohol, marijuana smoke, and a range of troubling individuals. Let me say something. I saw a lot of people saying they don't believe it. All I'm gonna say is this. Girl, no shade to Mama D. Scrappy's mama was a whole madam, a whole pimp. Not madam, a whole pimp. So you could just imagine the stuff that Scrappy and his brothers and sisters had to see. Hello? I don't think it's too far-fetched. Oh, sorry. I don't think it's too far-fetched that this could have happened. Now, it still doesn't take away from Puff Daddy being, girl, a demon, but I could still see something, or taking the responsibilities of what he's done to people. That's what I meant to say, because he'll still be held responsible, as he should. But I don't think it's too far-fetched that someone could grow up in an environment where it was sexually charged, where, you know, you probably saw a lot of DRUGS. It happens all the time. I know for a fact it happens all the time. But I'm not gonna get into it because, girl, I don't feel like arguing with nobody. But you know what I'm saying? Okay. So people have parents who have them in environments that are not well for children. It happened back then and it's happening now. I'm gonna get off on that note because, girl, I'll start talking and then, girl, my phone gonna start ringing. Hello, let me shut up. All right, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Girl, bye, y'all.